This is my 26th video. Trying to make them quite quickly now because, in a very short time I want to do them before my skin rash comes back, which is expected to in a couple of days. And also, obviously, I don't particularly have a lot of time left alive, possibly. This one is all about homeschooling, so it'll be of interest if you're a parent or if you just are thinking about being a parent sometime. Or if you know a parent, please share this video with them. So I have two children, Edward, who is 7 years old, and Jessica, who is almost 3 years old. And Edward went to kindergarten, but after kindergarten was finished, I decided that instead of him going to school, he would stay with me, and I would homeschool him. Obviously, under the circumstances that I've got terminal cancer, that turned out to be a very, very, very fortunate decision, because it meant I've spent a lot more time with him, and I'm incredibly grateful to have had that time with him. We're very, very close. Homeschooling is very, very straightforward. Just your child doesn't go to school, and instead you teach them whatever you see fit, however you see fit, really. Or not teach them at all, if you feel that they'll pick up anything that they need from day life, which is what I believe. I do make sure my son tries to write his diary every day. I use mathematics and English workbooks with him to make sure he's learning those kind of things. And I just try and teach him all day, every day, whatever we're doing. I try and make sure he's engaged. There are lots and lots of opportunities for socialising outside of school. So he often plays with friends in the park, and friends come over at weekends, or he goes to their houses, or does things with them. So he's having plenty of opportunity to socialise, but the main thing is it helps us be a very close family. Particularly, I'm very close to my son, because of course we spend so much time together. I'm fortunate in that I was working from home, but fortunate is not the right word, because actually I made that decision, and partly it was because I really wanted to stay with my family, spend as much time with my family as possible. So I'd really strongly recommend homeschooling. There are two sides really. There's the positive side of homeschooling and the negative side of not homeschooling. I think the negative side of not homeschooling is extremely strong. I think there's a lot of negative things about school. Teachers, at least in the UK, do a tremendous job in very, very difficult circumstances with poor resources, but they're in a fundamentally broken environment, particularly for young children. There are too many children in the class all the same age, which is not a natural way to be. I will try to look at the cameras at the top of the monitor, so it's a bit strange to look at it for me. If I look at it, I don't see my eyes very well. So I think school is a very strange, broken environment. I remember one thing I hated about school was there's this constant idea of waiting for things to happen at school, but also the idea that I was always told school would get better, I would enjoy the next bit more, I just have to get through this bit, and of course it never happened. But I think school is a very, very hostile environment for children, and it doesn't match with the stated aims of schools. So when you talk about schools and the lack of progress that children make in terms of learning, you're often told, oh well, it's not really about learning things, it's about picking up skills. And you say, well, they don't actually have any skills either. And you're told, well, it's all about the socialising thing. But the school's not set up for socialising either. So for me, school just doesn't really make sense. It's important to realise school is quite a new thing, at least mass schooling is very, very new. It used to be privileged people would be sent away for school for a few months or a few years. But the sort of schooling we have now is comparatively very modern. And I think it's now anachronistic, which I think it's not suitable for this time. There are so many educational resources you can use at home, which brings me to the positive sides of homeschooling. Obviously, if you're deciding what to teach your child, you can think what's the best thing to teach them, what's the best way to teach them. Do you want to do big projects together? Do you want to do a lot of video together? Do you want to do a lot of practical things? Are there skills you want to concentrate on? Do you just want to do things in the house, cooking together, cleaning the house, playing together? That's a fantastic way to learn. Going for a walk together, it's a really good way. Children can learn so much. Can you do day trips or go and spend a day in the park and look at nature, learn science, count the leaves on the trees, look for all the amazing mathematical patterns that we're surrounded by. Just going on a train journey together, you can learn so much. So the positive side of homeschooling is, I think you get a much, much, much higher standard of education. You obviously, no school can offer this one-to-one tuition that you're giving your child at home. No school can offer to teach every child at the child's own pace, which again is a big problem at school. Some things are far too fast for most children, some things are far too slow for most children. Very few things are exactly their pace, and a school is generally going to go at the average pace of the students, with everyone else playing, either waiting around or trying to play catch up. But when you're teaching your child, you're teaching at exactly their pace. So I think that's a really good thing. Another aspect is just you get to spend a lot more time with your child, so they get a deeper relationship with you. It may be, like in my case, your child spends more time with children of different ages as a result of not being in school. My son spends a lot more time, I guess, meeting adults than most children do. I think that's a very positive thing as well. So you got the negative side of not homeschooling, but you also got the positive side of homeschooling. In my case, absolute best decision I ever made, really, or possibly second best after dropping out of university. I don't know. So thank you ever so much for listening. I hope you found this useful. If you did, please, or if you didn't find it useful and you disagree or whatever, please share it, leave a comment, and if you can, possibly please give me a donation for my cancer fighting fund, which is at www.mathewdons.org. That's MatthewDons.org. Thank you very much.